Okay, this is day 3 for me at the Cordwood Challenge 2019. Pretty small pile of wood. It was 4 trees, 3 standing dead ash. They must have been dead for a while because they were pretty darn hard. And fortunately, maybe 25% of it was starting to go kind of punky. They were just ribbons of it that were near the trunk. So I just discarded those. I could have had a little bit more, but not much. So yeah, and one of the trees was a dead cherry too. That was pretty much intact. The wood was still pretty good. Um, so yeah, not too bad. They were small trees, so I really didn't have to split much of it. Um, let's see, today again I used my Basque axe and my Toportsib Siberian axe, and there's my log togs that I was using to drag some of the stuff out of the brush where I'm not supposed to be walking. So yeah. I'll mention something else too. There's been some talk lately about axe fetishes or things like that nature. I'm totally in the camp of say that skill is much more important over the type of axe you use. I just happen to really like axes, and I collect them and I use them. But I'd like to give another example. There's a guy. I started a thread on the Arbor's site. There's a firewood subforum over there for the Axe Corbett Challenge for this year. It actually got a lot of interest. There was some poo-pooing of it last year, but this year some people have had some interest. One fella, he said didn't even have an axe, went out and bought a Fisker's chopping axe. I think it's like a 28-inch long chopping axe, and he's almost done. And I think he's only been doing it for about 2 weeks. I mean, he's definitely well over a half a cord. And it's just with one Fisker's axe. So, some people might say that they're not that great. Wood handle ones are better. I really don't care. The main important thing is he got a lot done. So people who want to talk about how a Gränsfors Bruck or some other type of premium axe is better than a Fisker's probably isn't cutting that much wood to really comment on it, and it's basically their opinion, and we all know what they say about opinions, right? Well, anyway, let me go ahead and get all this up to my wood yard, and I'll do an overall shot of my progress this far for 3 days effort, 3 weekends in a row. I was actually surprised I was able to get it all in the cart, or all of it in the cart this time, so I think it was a little bit less than what I did last weekend. But then again, that was a considerably larger tree. I mean, not a big tree, but it was larger than all 4 of these that I felled today. But little by little, this is kind of where I am now. I'll stack it all up and take an overall shot. I estimate this to be about 2 ricks, maybe half a quart. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to get this far, fill this thing up, and then get to splitting my saw cut wood. I'm a couple years ahead, as you can see by the couple of Holzhausens that I have here. Plus I got some oak straight stacked there. It's been seasoning about 2 years, and in front of it is some hickory. But as you can see over here, I've got a mountain of wood to split. It's mostly ash, there's some oak, black locust too. I've started some of it underneath that tarp is what I've split. Just want to get a large amount done, and I'm going to stack another Holzhausen right here on these 4 pallets. So yeah, get this stacked up, and I'll take an overall shot. Okay, this is my progress thus far. I thought it was about a rick, not quite. It's about 8 foot long, but as you can see, it's not quite stacked all the way up because obviously I can't. And it's about 3 foot 10 inches tall. So just need to go a little bit higher. And I did measure those pallets. It is 16 foot long. So I'm almost at 1 full rick. All in all, it was a good day for chopping wood. It's strange. This weather around here is just wacky. last weekend, if you watched my video, you saw I was just in a flannel shirt. It was in the upper 30s, and I think, which is, when you're swinging an axe, it's pretty nice weather because you get warmed up pretty quick. Today it's 52 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, I believe. But in contrast, 4 days ago, I woke up in the morning at 4:45 to let my dog out, and it was -2 degrees Fahrenheit. I believe it's negative 18 Celsius, with daytime temperatures in the teens. And that's just ridiculous. And then now it's 52 degrees. I mean, 3 days ago, or I'm sorry, Friday, we had 4 inches of snow on the ground. This weather is just wacky. So I give a shout out to my friends over on Arborist site that are taking up the challenge and doing a good job. I mentioned earlier, one of the guys is he's almost done, and he started it after I did. So he's only been going at it for about 2.5 weeks. I think he says he's got some time off, which helps, but still. He's kicking ass and taking names, and he's doing it all with a Fisker's chopping axe. So, again, doesn't matter what type of an axe you swing, as long as you know what you're doing and work efficiently. That's what matters. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. I've already poured myself a celebratory homebrew. Oh, before I leave, just want to note out. I tried to tape my hands, and you can kind of see. Damn blister keeps popping up, but that just came off. Maybe I just need more manly hands, but yeah, that rubbing will do it to you. And I had a close call today. You can see there. Oops. These are steel toe boots, though. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. That was a mistake of mine. I had a smaller log that was kind of dancing around me towards the very end, and I put my foot up near it, and I had a glancing blow and dinged that. Fortunately, they are steel toe, but just goes to show, don't get too comfortable, because that's when mistakes happen. Here we are in my shop. This is my my man cave. I don't like to sit around and watch TV. I like to work with my hands. Not that it's any better. I mean, to each their own. That's just what I like to do. All my homebrew equipment here. Fermentation chamber 1. Fermentation chamber number 2. Here is ye old axe collection. A couple more stuff there. Here's my felling rig. Rocking out to some clutch. Some of my chainsaws. What I'm going to do now is I got to, I normally don't care about too much about it, but I'm going to go and get some of this this tree sap and dirt off, because I got to touch this thing up a little bit. I probably had to, probably some of the grit there rolled it a bit, so I'm going to touch this up just a hair. I actually had a field dress this that I was using earlier today, Ninja Rock. It was just there hiding underneath the snow, and I was bucking towards the bottom of one of the logs, and I caught it, and whew, it did a number on it. But got it out. Sort of tell. Damn, focus here. Sort of tell by the file and the stone marks, but that's still pretty good. I'm just going to clean both of these up. I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, all right. So do here, I just use a little bit of kerosene. I do wear gloves for this, and some fine steel wool just to get some of this pitch off. Not pitch, the sap. And make sure you are properly lubricated. Don't need much. Some of it doesn't really evaporate very well. Some of it kind of sticks and stays inside the steel wool. I mean, you could use WD-42 if you wanted to, but any petroleum-based product or solvent is really good at dissolving some of the tree sap. Be mindful when you get down towards the edge here. I just kind of get it like that, let it soak in a bit. Same thing for this one here. chunked off there. I have to improvise here a little bit. That's pretty good. It's not all the way off, but most of it's off. That's all I'm really concerned about. Excuse me. Just wipe that off. Alright. Yeah. Still shows some use. I'm not going to get to touching this up today, at least the wiry bass axe today. Probably tomorrow, or I might come back here later on. We'll see. But when I do put these away, I recommend a product called Ballistol. It's a gun oil, but it's non-diluted form. It's great for just about everything. I mean, it protects metal, rubber, wood, leather. It takes you know, gives a nice, darkens it up. It works great. I mean, I like it because you put it all over the steel, and then just the excess, instead of wiping it off the wood, you just wipe it into the wood. And it's pretty safe. No, they advertise it as non-carcinogenic. So if you get it on your hands, it's not really big a deal. It does kind of smell funny. Somebody says it smells like feet. I think it kind of smells funny, but I wouldn't go in so far as to say it smells like feet. Other people say black licorice. I don't know. It just smells funny, but it doesn't bother me. So just a little dab to you. Let that on there. Well, actually, the wood will take it up, and so will the leather. So it's not a drying oil. The wood will take it up, but it will remain on top of the steel and protect it. Watch your fingers. It's a nice little sheen on there, and protect against the rust. I store my axes out here in my shop, and you know, we had a lot of rain this year during the summertime. Just the humidity was it was outrageous. And at the beginning of the summer, I started noticing that some of my the polished parts, or the ground parts, the bits rather, on some of my axes were starting to get a little surface rust. So I would take them down, and I just kind of thought about using Ballistol because it's a great rust protector. It's good enough. It's not the best. There are lots of other different products like Ezox, for example, that works exceedingly well for rust protection, but this works pretty good too. I started using it on my axes throughout the summer, and I didn't have a rust problem again. And like I mentioned before, it's great because you can you don't have to worry about wiping it off the wood. You just wipe it into the wood. You know, pretty easy. Until I get time to rework the bit or just touch it up. Eventually I'll get around to building a better axe rack. This was just something I just shoddily put together out of some pallets that I got, or an A-frame that I got from work. And I like to hang some of my axes. I think eventually I may just end up hanging them all. I like having the lanyard for that. That way you're always sure that it's going to be, the handles will be hanging up and down, and it mitigates the chance for the wood warping with the handle being bent. Of course, hanging from the head with the handle hanging down freely is good too. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys later. Stay safe. Happy chopping.